She watched generations die, while she stayed exactly the same. But no one ever asked why, until it was too late. In the heart of a lush, forgotten corner of the continent, nestled between dense forests and towering cliffs, lay the village of Ikina. Time moved slowly there. Elders whispered stories over flickering fires, and children chased chickens in dusty courtyards. But no story was more enduring or more feared than the tale of Mirembe. No one knew where she came from. She had simply appeared one day, barefoot and smiling, with skin that glowed like moonlight and eyes that shimmered like the river under starlight. She rented a small hut near the river and kept mostly to herself. That was 50 years ago. The strangest part? Mirembe hadn't aged a day since. While children were born, grew, and left to have children of their own, Mirembe remained unchanged. Her braided hair never grayed. Her brown skin remained smooth. Her eyes, still that strange, eerie silver, never dulled. At first they called her a gift, the river witch who had come to protect Ikina. Women brought her gifts of yams and oils. Men tried in vain to court her. But time reveals all things. And as the years went by, the village's wonder curdled into suspicion, and suspicion into fear. No one dared approach her anymore. Even her garden, once lush and full of singing birds, grew quiet. Children who got too close were whisked away by panicked mothers. Rumors festered like rot. They said she is a demon who feeds on youth, they said. She made a pact with the darkness. She is cursed, or worse, she cursed us. And still, Mirembe smiled. The turning point came on the night of the red moon. It was harvest season, and the villagers had gathered for the Festival of Flame, a time to honor the dead and dance beneath the stars. Fires blazed, drums sang, faces were painted in ash and clay. As tradition demanded, names of ancestors were read aloud. But that night, the village elder, Baba Olan, stopped mid-sentence, pale and trembling. He pointed at Mirembe, who had dared to stand at the back of the crowd. "That name," he croaked, "the one I just read. Obuya. He was my great-grandfather, and she looks exactly like the woman in his stories, the one who seduced him, then vanished." The crowd turned. Eyes widened. A cold breeze swept through the square. Whispers followed. "She's centuries old. A spirit in a woman's skin. She eats men's souls." Mirembe said nothing. She walked away slowly, as if the ground burned beneath her feet. That night, the drums fell silent. The next morning, a young girl named Ayo went missing. She had been playing by the river. Her mother screamed, wailing through the village. The men formed search parties. They combed the woods, the cliffs, the riverbank. They found nothing, except a single braid of black hair caught on a thorn bush. The villagers gathered, furious and terrified. Mirembe took her. She needs children to stay young. The chief, Obadiah, issued a decree. Bring her to the square. Tonight, we get the truth. They found her in her garden, humming as she picked herbs. The hunters circled her hut with spears. No one dared to touch her. "Come with us," Obadiah commanded. She looked up, calm. "And if I don't, we will burn your home to the ground." Mirembe smiled. "You've already burned your hearts. What's one more fire?" Still, she followed them. In the square, the entire village gathered. Children clung to mothers. Elders murmured prayers. Mirembe stood tall. "Where is Ayo?" Someone shouted. Mirembe didn't answer. She simply raised a hand. The crowd stilled. "I will tell you everything," she said, "but you won't like the truth." She closed her eyes. The air thickened. A strange wind howled through the trees. Flames flickered wildly, and then, before their eyes, Mirembe changed. Her skin cracked like porcelain. Her bones stretched and twisted. Her hair grew long and white, floating as if under water. Her eyes bled silver light. Her voice deepened, layered with echoes. I am not what you think. I was once a girl, like Ayo, stolen from my village, given to a god who cursed me with immortality. My beauty is not my own. It is a mask, a trap. I cannot die, and I cannot love. Every century, I must shed this skin, or madness takes me. The villagers cowered. Obadiah raised his spear. Monster! Mirembe raised her hand again, and the spear froze mid-air. The wood rotted instantly. Obadiah screamed, I have done nothing to harm you. I only wish to be left alone. The villagers retreated. No one dared to attack again. But fear does not die easily. That night torches were lit. Plans were made. She must be destroyed, whispered Baba Olan, or we will all fall. They gathered sacred relics, ancestral charms, and summoned a seer from the hills. She came with cowrie shells and bones and smoke. Her name was Nanais. She is tied to the land, Nanais said, to the river. Sever that, and the mask will fall forever. They poisoned the river, burned her herbs, cut down the sacred fig tree beside her home. Mirembe screamed. The sky turned black. And then Ayo returned. She stood at the edge of the village, barefoot, clutching a flower. I was not taken, she said. I followed her. She taught me how to speak to trees, how to hear water. She told me stories of when the moon was a girl and danced with lions. She is not evil. The villagers hesitated. Lies, Obadiah spat. But Ayo stepped forward, held out her hand, and in her palm lay a single silver tear. She gave me this to remember. Nanais gasped. That is the mark of the ancients. But Obadiah had made up his mind. This is deception. Her curse spreads. He ordered the hut burned. The fire roared. Mirembe did not scream. She walked into the flames. For a moment, silence. Then a burst of light so blinding it lit the entire sky. When it faded, Mirembe was gone. Only a circle of ash remained, and in the center, a small glowing stone. Weeks passed. The river dried. Crops failed. Children fell ill. The villagers begged Nanais for guidance. You have severed the balance, she said. She was not your enemy. She was your tether. Ayo visited the ash circle every day. One morning, she found the stone split in two. From it grew a single flower, silver and glowing. A whisper rode the wind. Teach them, Ayo. Years passed. Ayo grew into a woman. She wore silver beads and told children stories under moonlight. She taught them to speak to trees, to dance with the wind, to listen to silence. The village slowly healed. But some nights, when the moon turned red, villagers swore they saw a figure by the river, watching, smiling. And when asked about the old story, Ayo would say, she wasn't cursed. She was chosen, and you hated her because she reminded you of what you could never be. And with that, she would turn, silver eyes glinting, and disappear into the forest. What would you have done if you lived in that village? Let us know in the comments. If you love mysterious African tales full of twists, magic, and ancient secrets, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a story from enchanted African realms.